Hello and welcome to WOLFpak TV. My name is Wendy Fortino. I'm your host. And before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this YouTube channel because we need you and we want you and we want to keep going and have all of your support. So without further ado, I have two very special guests with me here. First, I'm going to introduce our very special guest, Marcus Beyond Normal Royster. Woo!
Let's give it up. Let's give it up.
How you guys doing? How you doing?
And Marcus is we're gonna dive into everything that he's done because there's really too much for me to list. So let me just start off by saying, how are you doing today, Marcus?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Trying to recover from a huge event over the weekend. I hope everybody didn't miss it. But that's about it. Yeah. Back in the gym today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that too. And Paul Sandoval, we have Paul here with us. Paul is the person behind the entire Evo Sports Extravaganza, the event that I literally just came back from being a part of. And he used to be Marcus Royster's manager. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. How are you, Paul?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having us on.
Yes.
Sorry for my voice. After the expo, tired. I feel like I'm raspy, but just getting some rest.
We understand.
So that's it. Sorry about the voice.
Honestly, I don't even know how you did it all. So let's start this off by just talking a little bit about how I got in touch with both of you, because I think that's the story to tell in and of itself. First of all, Paul and I, we go way back. I've known Paul now we talked about this 10 years.
Yeah, 10, 11 years.
And Paul owns a company called Blown Gear, and he has been kicking butt in blown gear for a really long time. And he contacted me about being a part of the Evo Sports Expo as one of the athletes. And you had myself, you had Ronnie Coleman, you had Flex Wheeler, you had Sean Ray, Linda Murray, Hani Rambod, and who am I missing?
Ashley
Cotwasser.
And then we had Coach Matt Allen.
And
we had Stan Efferding, who's a famous dietitian / megastar for the old bodybuilding community.
Yes. And the star that was not on the poster, who should have been, was our guest today.
Oh, man.
I met Marcus actually because Marcus picked me up from the airport and he was our bodyguard for the weekend. And he took us everywhere and I got to know him a little bit, and I recognized him from a popular YouTuber that I had watched, and he was a bodyguard on this famous YouTuber's channel. And once I dove in a little bit more about him, I realized that, oh my gosh, there's such a story here that we have to tell and share with everybody. And so now that I've kind of set the tone on that, Paul, why don't you give us a little bit more about how you got in touch with Marcus and how he was a part of the Evo Sports Expo?
Okay, well, first of all, I met Marcus in the late 90s.
Oh my gosh.
At the Gold's Gym in San Jose on Meridian.
Okay.
And obviously, his stature is like no other. You don't see someone 6'6", 345, 50 pounds too often, But, after you go to the gym and you have your gym buddies, you start seeing who's there, who's training. And of course, I'm going to go up there and say something to him. So I think he was with, I want to say he's with some DJ from, I think, 94.9, I believe, Marcus.
Yeah.
I think you were with Big Joe.
Yeah.
And you guys are training, and we started talking. Ever since then, we've been friends ever since. Marcus has been one of my best friends for that long. So.
Wow. Well, and then we're going to go into everything you guys have done together since you've known each other. So Marcus, tell me about how you got to know Paul, and then we're going to go into your story, and we're going to start from the beginning.
Just like I said, just we had something in common, weightlifting, and I was training for purpose, of course, football, and we just crossed paths, and it grew to other guys like Milo and Jay Hagberg and a couple of other guys, VJ. You know, everybody just started coming around, and we became like one. And I think without them around me, I probably wouldn't have did half the stuff I did. So
let's talk about that.
Definitely.
Let's talk about what you've done. You've done a lot. Yeah.
I went to high school, went to Homestead High School. Played 1 year of high school football.
Okay.
And I was a running back, receiver, and a linebacker. And that was it. Then I went to De Anza Junior College. Played 2 years there. I was an All-American my second year. Had letters to go everywhere and didn't pass my biology class. So, yeah, so I had to pick a school to go to. So I chose New Mexico to go to, and I chose the wrong place because I didn't like when I got there. I didn't like it. So I ended up flunking out my last semester, retaking those classes at De Anza Junior College over the summer, and then getting another scholarship to Missouri State. After that, NFL teams acquired, write you letters and send you letters and stuff like that. So I was a prospect, and everything was going fine. And then an incident happened on campus. One player, we didn't get along. We didn't get along ever. He actually pulled a gun on me on campus in the dorm. So it kind of rattled me. He didn't pull the trigger or anything, but it rattled me. So I wanted to somehow get even, and of course, my mind's I'm going crazy. Like, what am I going to do? So I ended up going to the office to talk to the police department at the college, and I said, hey, I got a situation. I'm like, I don't want to do nothing stupid, but just to tell you this situation happened. So they wrote it all down and this and that, but they didn't really do anything about it. And so when I got back on Thanksgiving break, I hung out with, I was with Marcus Allen and Steve Bono for the Chiefs, because my boy, Ricky Sigler, from San Jose State, was playing offensive line for the Chiefs. So I went to Thanksgiving dinner with them, and I came back to school, and there's like a couple dudes in the cafeteria that I didn't recognize, and they pretty much tried to jump me in the cafeteria. So I destroyed the whole cafeteria and them too as well. And so I hid in the girls' dorms for like a day, and the police had an APB out on me, and I ended up turning myself in. And the letter that I gave to them that stated that I needed help. Like I didn't know how to deal with the situation, and no one contacted me or nothing. And so I could have stayed there and finished my school, which I should have did, but I ended up leaving, and I transferred to Southern Oklahoma.
So let me ask you this really fast. When you did that and you fought them all off, was it dawning on you that maybe fighting was a path that you would take at some point later on in life?
Yeah, I was always good at fighting. I was fighting since second grade. It
was like a seed in your mind at that point. Okay, keep going.
I think people pushed me to that, to do that, and I just was never scared. Plus I was picked on. I was bullied. I grew up in upper middle class. I lived couple doors down from George Seifert, the head coach of the 49ers. So they weren't used to a guy like me living in their neighborhood. So I had to deal with a lot of stuff like that.
Well, the neighborhood was Los Altos, Marcus. So you figure, go figure.
Yeah. So, so I had to deal with that stuff. So that kind of like steered me into, fighting, I just loved it,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Made you feel like powerful and like something that you could like defend yourself if something happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's interesting.
it's got me in some trouble too. So, you know, it ain't all good. Roses.
We're gonna
So,
talk about that a little bit too. So we're gonna talk to you a little bit, Paul, about when you kind of met him. This was kind of like, sounds like it was right around when he was coming out of the football scene. He was
Yeah.
kind of coming into the fighting scene, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that. And I'm going to
Yeah,
pull up a video of him with Butterbean, because I think
yeah, we're gonna go before Butterbean. This is
okay.
right when Marcus got drafted, then he got
Okay.
hurt, and then it kind of messed up his career. But then he went to play somewhere in the Arena League.
Oh,
So he was still playing pro football in the Arena League,
got it.
and that's where we kind of met in that time frame.
Got it.
And then I think in 1998, Thanksgiving week, Blown Gear was going with my partners Anthony and Isaac, and we started this company called Blown Gear. We wanted to have a fitness brand that wasn't like the oversized clothes and the big old baggy pants. We kind of wanted to have like a stylish logo, matching hat, you know, pants, sweats, velour sweats, whatever it was. So that's where we started back then. And that's where we met Marcus. And then, matter of fact, every brand has to look for the Nike swoosh, has to look for the 3-stripe Adidas.
Yeah.
The brand for Blown Gear is this really a crazy big silhouette of a monster, and his name is we call it the Marcus logo.
No way!
And no one knows that.
I have like 1,000 of those tank tops.
Yeah, so no one knows that, but the Marcus logo became Blown Gear's swoosh.
No.
And it was all So what happened was, we needed something like something creative, and Isaac put together like this crazy silhouette, and we call it to this day the Marcus logo.
No.
So that logo, you know, it goes beyond. Even though Blown Gear is dead right now, it's not doing anything. It's in the ground, but it's still there with all of us, you know.
Well, you know what, we at WOLFpak, we support these things.
Nice.
You know, let's see. We have
yeah.
Is that the Marcus? Marcus logo?
That's it. That's the Marcus logo.
Yeah. And I have a tank top that says I have that too.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
great.
That's it. So anyways, Blown Gear used to travel to like all these bodybuilding shows. So my brother VJ and Marcus would go everywhere, you know, and be a part of the show. Yeah. And then we would just have a road show, and we go to LA, we go to Washington, we go to everywhere you name a bodybuilding show, we would go, and we would just support. And this is obviously without any social media or nothing. This is like straight grassroots marketing, you know, get in a car, get in a truck, and roll out. You know, so
that's awesome. So you were Marcus's manager in his fighting days, right? Yes. So let's talk a little bit about that. So Marcus, I want to know what got you. Let's talk about how you even discovered this world, because you became a pro. Okay. And we're just gonna show you like kicking some butt while you're talking about your story.
Okay.
Don't mind us.
All right.
We're just gonna like have you kicking some butt.
All right. So, gosh, the beginning was actually depression. I don't know, we don't pretty much talk about that too much, but I was in an ugly space. I didn't know what to do. After football was gone and done with, I couldn't get back in. I tried to figure out something, and how can I say this? So I went outside my bounds and decided to buy some product and sell it and make some money off of it, if you know what I mean.
Got it.
A white substance. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. So I get in my truck. with my homeboy. Um, to do the sell. So anyway, so halfway on the highway, I pull over, and I was in a sweat, and I was like, I can't do this. You know, I just can't go through with this. And I was like, you think if I call him back, can I give him back the stuff and I get my money back? You know? And he's like, man, I don't know. So I went back to the house and I called the guy and I was like, hey man, is there any way I could give this back to you? And he's like, you know, Big Marcus, I was waiting for that phone call. He's like, you know what? You're not a D-boy. He's like, you kick people's ass. He's like, why don't you just fight? And I just sat there and I thought about it. And I remember watching my boy, Big Polar Bear, fighting in the UFC. I think it was 6 or 7. And that was one of my best friends. I think he passed away. God rest his soul. So anyway, so I just, you know, I couldn't do nothing else. I didn't know what else to do. So I jumped into, I actually, a guy, he's one of my other managers, and he walked up to me. He's like, do you know how to fight or something? And I was like, not in the mood to talk to anybody. And so I was about to wrap him up on the street. And so he was like, no, he's like, man, I'm just asking. So anyway, so he told me to show up at his gym. So I waited a few weeks. I showed up, and he's like, I'm going to teach you how to fight. And I was like, I already know how to fight, which I didn't. There's a difference between fighting in the street and fighting in the ring. Totally different. And so, you know, I got in there thinking I'm the biggest guy there. So, you know, I'm just like, whatever. I ended up getting posted. Like, I like, you know, my son was like bragging to his mom, like, you know, daddy got his butt kicked today, blah, 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 you know. And I'm sitting there like, you know what? And it taught me to be humble. It taught me that if you're going to lose in practice, lose in practice, you know, and give it your all. And so when you get in the ring, it's a whole different story. So I started doing tough mans. So I started winning the tough mans, and I ended up fighting Javier Mendez in a tough man. I lost to him in a decision.
Right.
And at Pal Stadium. And then I just got calls, and it was just, so I was like, you know, fighting guys that I probably shouldn't have been fighting. Chemo Leopold, you know, Butterbean. People that were bowing out and didn't want to fight him because they didn't want to get knocked out. I'm like, I'll take the fight. So, and so that's when Paul stepped in and was like, hey, you know, he told me, hey, you're 30 something years old. You need to get in there and just do it. Just go and do it. Just, you know, who cares, you know? So I ended up, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is the deal, Wendy. What happened was, he was getting calls everywhere. He didn't know what route he wanted to go because we're at AKA with Javier. Javier's like, hey, look, let's get 3 guys, you know, pretty much just to get your feet wet.
Yeah.
And Marcus is like, I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of want to go right in.
Yeah.
And at the time, his other manager, his name is Gene, and he was telling him that there's a fight company out in Hawaii called Rumble on the Rock, and it was BJ Penn's brother, who it's like a mini UFC in Hawaii. So we Marcus had a fight deal to fight Chemo, one of the UFC's first stars, and Marcus wanted to do it. So I kind of stepped in and said, look, let's see what we can do. So Scott Coker gets involved.
I know Scott.
So Scott Coker, obviously, you know, Strike Force and you know, Bellator, and so. We actually we got a 3-fight deal, Marcus?
Yeah.
We got a 3-fight deal, and the first fight was going to be against Daniel Cormier, which is like, you know, went on to be the UFC heavyweight champion. Yeah. And then Marcus goes, you know what? We're not doing it. We're going to go to Hawaii. I want to fight Chemo.
Right.
And Javier from AKA says, I don't think you should do it. I think you should fight some lower names. Marcus says, I'm too old. I want to just get my feet wet, and I want to go fight an experienced person. And there you go. So we're in Hawaii, and we take the fight. And then tell them what happened, Marcus, at that fight.
So I'm scared as hell, for one, just to let you know.
What?
First time in my life. First time in my life, I'm crying like a baby backstage. You know, you know, and you know, this guy's a Hall of Famer. So I get in the ring and I figured out like, man, this guy cannot hit me. So I'm just picking him apart, and he's trying to dive at my legs and get him, and he couldn't do that. And so he ends up headbutting me, and he headbutted me, and I went into a daze. So they stopped the fight, and so I was pretty concussed, but who cared? You know, I was like, hey, let's go, let's keep fighting. And they were like, no, fight's over, you won, da da da. I'm like, no. The crowd start booing. So I was like, no. You either win or you lose. There ain't no disqualifications and all that. I don't play that. Let's go. So, and everybody at the end of the day told me I should have took the win, but I just don't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to take a win like that.
We should have took the win, but what the problem is we did Radio Row and did all these shows and press before, Children's Hospital before. So Marcus said he didn't want to disappoint anyone with the DQ. So we're like, he wants to go. So
we went again, and I ended up getting tired, and he caught me in a forearm choke, I think it was.
Oh man!
And the ref called it, after that. So that was it. So it was a learning process, though.
I bet. I mean, I can't. Every fight, you have to learn new skills because everyone's different. But what I mean, to me, it just seems so overwhelming to even think about training for something like this. It's just crazy because the difference between street fighting and arena fighting or cage fighting. I mean, it's just so different. You have formal training, and then, guys that are just naturally gifted like you, who are probably thriving in the street fighting. What did you do different to train for this type of fighting?
Actually,
first things first, you got to learn how to wrap your hands, right?
Yeah, learn how to wrap your hands. But I think the main part of it is just and then, of course, I can't find guys my size to fight. So it's always small guys. So the small guys would wrap me up, of course, doing all this crazy stuff. And, so I got used to that in practice. But then it got to a point where I had to go to San Francisco and I had to go to Oakland and train over there to find the bigger guys, the more aggressive guys, this and that. So that's what I did.
You're 6'6". 6'6". That's crazy. I mean, that would be.
And training 3 times a day.
What does that look like? What did your training, what does training look like for you?
4 o'clock in the morning, just get up, run a couple miles, get back to my house, get back in my truck, go down to the dojo. We're working on lower game or upper game. Lower game's your legs, upper game's your upper body, your fists. And then the third practice would be sparring, and then after that, I'd do a light 5-mile jog on the treadmills at like 24-hour. That was it, and that was it for the day. And then it's back to the same thing the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. So, so after pretty much my Butterbean fight, I broke my foot in the first round, cracked it in half.
What? You kept fighting on that?
Kept fighting on that, and Butterbean
couldn't go.
He couldn't go to this round. So our substitute fighter was on my team. He was too scared to fight the next guy. So the Japanese asked me, "Hey, we'll give you a pay raise if you get to the ring and fight this other guy." And I was just like, "I can't walk." They're like, "We don't care. We'll carry you." So they carried me into the ring because they didn't show on the TV, the pay-per-view, that I was carried. They just showed me get to the ring right when they put me in the ring. So they carried me because I couldn't walk, and then I fought the next guy, and that was it of that fight. And I took a knee because I couldn't hold myself up. My foot was just totally mangled.
Oh my God! So you're fighting on a broken foot this whole time?
On a broken foot with Butterbean. I broke it like 1 minute in the first round. I knew, and the funny part about it is I told everybody in my camp, including Paul, I was like, I'm going to kick him so hard I'm going to break my leg. That's how hard I'm going to kick him.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. What's your strength? What do you think you're really good at in the ring? Like, what I would say your reach. Arms are so long.
My reach, and I'm pretty quick for a big guy.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. I'm pretty quick. So,
What would you say Butterbean's strengths are? Because, man, I wouldn't think
that hit.
I just looked at
power.
him.
That hit I took, that one shot I took of his was the hardest I ever been hit. I still feel it today. I've had 2-3 neck surgeries. Hey, Butterbean, if you're watching, I love you, brother. Get well. Love you, brother. And I appreciate what you told me in the ring and taught me a little bit while we were fighting. Because he was telling me some stuff while we were fighting. He was just like, hey, you better watch out for this one and this one. And I'm like, I always thought he was BSing, but then he started hitting me with them. And I'm like, okay, so he was a great guy, man. It's just love him to death, man.
Hey, Butterbean, you owe us a steak at your steakhouse in Alabama.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, Butterbean, I want a steak too. All of us steaks on Butterbean.
That's it.
Yeah. So I think I'm probably one of the only guys that never got knocked out by him. So
that fight was an awesome fight. I watched it, and I thought you totally killed it. It didn't cross my mind that you.
Nobody knows about the broken foot.
Nobody knows the broken foot. I mean, you totally killed that fight. It was really impressive. I think you could find highlights everywhere on YouTube because it was such an awesome fight, and so many people have it on their YouTube channel. I mean, it's pretty much gone viral. So I think even to this day, it still lives on. So it's a pretty awesome one.
Yeah.
So after that, what year did you decide to retire from fighting and just go, you know what, my body's just had enough?
Ooh, so after that fight, we were thinking of big things. Let's go to Japan. Let's light it up. Let's go to China. Let's light it up. We were about to just do it. And my whole thing is I wanted to fight Bob Sapp.
Okay. Who?
Sapp.
Paul who? Because he's breaking up. Who?
Hey, Marcus, your
Bob
phone
Sapp.
So
Bob
Sapp was a star in Japan.
Got it.
And kind of the same stature but shorter.
Okay.
And then he was actually going a different direction. So the plan for us was to do a 10 fight deal in Japan, and we're actually crunching numbers and getting ready for that.
Got it.
And then we're downtown San Jose, and I'm waiting for him. We're at a bar, and to wait to kind of go over some stuff. Marcus parks his car around the corner, and then the tragedy happens. Marcus, tell him what happened.
What happened?
I got ran over by a car.
What?
Yeah, I got ran over by a car. I ran the stop sign, just smacked right into me. I flew in the air, destroyed the car in front, the hood, the windshield, and I was just laying on the ground and just thinking about things. I think so that happened, and that was with me in a cast. I was in a cast with my broken foot.
Because he was already injured from the fight, but we were already like, we're working on Japan now. So let's just ink some stuff in and talking to promoters, and we were going to go there and do that. But,
oh my gosh,
unforeseen circumstances have come into Marcus's life,
This isn't the first meeting up.
Hey, Marcus, you're cutting out a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me?
Okay, stay still.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, I get a call, and I already had surgery on my foot. I get a call, and my buddy needs help moving some stuff, with his parents. And so I was like, hey, I don't have time to do it. I got my kid with me. So, anyway, so nobody else was going to help him, so I decided to go help him. Anyway, fast forward, a huge toolbox falls from the truck and lands on my leg, cut it to the bone, and broke my foot again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think you are living in a vortex.
yeah. So
Something is following you around. This is not good.
So that happened. So at that point, I had to wait to have surgery, and the waiting what took is what causes me to be on blood thinners. And if you're on blood thinners, I have to retire. There's no way I could fight.
Right.
Scott Coker was blessed to me to Cormier again. And I knew I couldn't pass the blood test, but I tried to fake it. So I took the contract, and basically I didn't pass, and that was that. But I definitely thank Strikeforce, Scott Coker, for giving me that opportunity.
Yeah.
And who knows where my career would have went, hey, it is what it is. So,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, well, I know Scott Coker very well. And, and before he sold Strikeforce, and it was, and I know he's so passionate about it. He loves all of you guys so much.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy. So I'm sure that he was really understanding, right?
Oh yeah, it was. I definitely love that guy to death, and he's a good dude. So
yeah, for sure.
If I could reiterate one thing, that story when I was depressed about football and didn't know where I wanted to go, my life fast forwarded or rewound it back to when I was little, when I was like 4 years old, looking outside the window, watching my dad go to work at 4 a.m., come back at 10 p.m. every day, 6 days a week, and then go to church with us on Sunday. And here I am that's going to sell something that could probably land me 20, 30 years in jail or get shot and killed. And I'm doing this. And so when that happened, it just clicked to me. Like, I'm living in a, upper middle class. I got a maid that cleans our house. Like, come on, man, what am I doing? So just having good parents means a lot to me. And I thank my dad, Roger Royster Jr., and my mom, Mary Royster.
You're giving me chills. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, Marcus, you had a very decorated athletic career. I mean, I think had things panned out differently for you in the end there, we'd be probably
in a
having
different place.
Conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, right? And it really does, because you have since gone on to do other great things. And I feel like when I had the opportunity to get to know you a little bit more, I mean, just seeing you and your impact on everybody around you makes me see that, and you don't put yourself in the center of the room ever, but you just naturally become the center of the room. It's one of those things where you have there's something magical about you. So let's talk about that, because you went from your fighting career, sounds like just everything that could have gone wrong to stop your fighting career went wrong. But then you entered into a new world of being a bodyguard.
Bodyguarding, right? Yes. That started with JV and Hot 97.7.
Wow.
And Big Joe got me in, and that was my first job. And the little thing with I can say his name, he passed away, but Biggie Smalls did his last interview there.
Yeah.
And then after the shooting in LA, his group went back up to the radio station and threatened JV. So JV calls me on the phone. Hey, I need you here right now. I said, dude, I'm in San Jose. I'm like, it's traffic. Like, how am I going to get there? So by the time I started up to everything. So anyway, that's when it all started. That's when I all started. So, yeah. And I went on to work for, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, so after that, just everything started going. I mean, worked for some of the greatest rappers that ever walked. A couple of them are billionaires right now. A few singers. Like I say, the Jesse James thing was funny. That was hilarious. But you know. So I got a little TV time. So that was cool. And I just actually started getting commercials after that. So
Yeah,
once I started
Marcus
doing
did a beef
commercials,
jerky. He did a Slim Jim commercial,
A
right,
Slim
Marcus?
Jim commercial.
yeah, it's on
Okay, keep
YouTube.
going.
Yeah, it's on
Keep
YouTube. But
going.
anyway, so I did a NASDAQ commercial, and then
What year was
did
the
a
Slim Jim
Monster drink.
commercial?
I did a Monster drink commercial, and I was in high heels and Daisy Dukes.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, red high heels. Yeah, it was interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Picture, actually, I could send you the picture if you want it.
I would
But
like that. I would like that. I'm actually trying to find it
yeah.
right now.
Oh no, I have it. You ain't gonna find
Oh.
it. I got a few things taken off because
What
one
year
of
was
my
your
pictures.
Slim Jim commercial?
Huh?
What year was your Slim Jim commercial?
Ooh, gosh, that was in 2000. Probably was it before the Butterbean fight? I think it was.
No,
I think
after.
it was it after 2007 maybe?
Yeah.
2007?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
All right.
Slim
Well,
Jim
we may not be able to
Athlete.
find that right now, but we'll take
It's
a
under
look.
it's under Slim Jim Athlete.
Okay.
Yeah. So did a few commercials and reaped the rewards of that. So that was nice. And then just started working for everybody from A to Z, bodyguarding. One group I ended up quitting on, and I texted my boy. I was like, "Hey man, I don't think I can do this no more. I'm not trying to die." And a few years later, one of them was shot and killed in Houston. So anybody knows rappers that were in Houston, one of them was shot and killed. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh shoot!
So,
I do know who you're talking about, actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So that was it. So then I started. I was like, man, I'd rather work for females or, billionaires. So.
You're like, I'm done with this. I'm good.
Yeah, man. This. Yeah.
No,
I can't.
The last one he did, or before the group, he was doing a producer,
Mm-hmm.
and then the producer,
Oh yeah,
he leaves, go back home, and then all of a sudden next day, I mean, FBI, he got raided at the compound, and he got in big trouble, and Marcus took off already. It's crazy.
Paul called me. He's like, man, where you at? I was like, man, I'm at home. Why are you calling me this early? He's like, man, they're raiding the house, your house. You're not my house, but the guy I was working for. And I'm like, who's raiding it? So I cut on the CNN, and then right there, they're showing the backyard. And so they ended up giving me a call. The feds ended up giving me a call, and they were like, you had a gun in your hand, didn't you? And I was like, yeah, I carry a gun. And then he's like, well, who's the guy on the ground? You had the gun pointing to his head. And I'm like, oh, that was me and my other bodyguard getting in an argument. So anyways. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, no, we can't. I mean, we have NDAs that we're dealing with here, so we can't mention names. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But what I do know is you did bodyguard for Chris Brown, Khloe Kardashian, Danity Kane, Justin Bieber. The list goes on. Females, okay? Tell me the craziest female bodyguard story that you have. Don't have to mention names, and go. And
you know what? Going to the bathroom with a female artist is crazy. Like you girls are. I thought we were bad. You guys are horrible. You girls are horrible. So, like people done, and like when I go in a girl's bathroom with a female, I don't care if they go to the bathroom, but I don't like when they put their camera phone above the thing to take a picture or video to send it to TMZ and collect $3,000. So I would have to go to the bathroom with the artist, and so that was a thing. So yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That's something that would never even cross my mind. Like, how do people think like that? That's just nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let me capture some footage to put on TMZ. Like, what kind of person would do that? That's nuts.
For $3,000, you would.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. No way. That's
I
crazy.
wouldn't. Yeah, it's crazy.
You
Yeah,
sound
and
like you would.
oh man, it's nuts what girls do. It's nuts.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah. Chloe was probably one of the nicest people I've ever been around.
Yeah.
Very humble, very
Yeah.
asked about my family every morning. So I really appreciated working with her. Definitely.
Oh,
Definitely.
awesome. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. So guys, what's the craziest, well, aside from like
Uh-huh.
witnessing murders,
Okay.
what's the craziest like gossipy guy story that you've ever dealt with?
Oh man. On the phone, I overheard a conversation. Can I say names?
You can say whatever you want. I'm just trying to protect you.
So Nikki, a girl named Nikki.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Girl is Nikki finds out her dude is cheating on him
Oh.
because he left his laptop on the kitchen counter and it was
Oh, no.
recording. The girl that he was with pressed record on it just so she could have footage.
Oh.
And so it got out, and he was complaining to my artist, "What should I do? What should I do? I don't know what to do." And it was a joke. It was crazy, but
Oh my God.
she ended up breaking up with the dude, and it was just, you know what, people that they live like a storied life.
Yeah.
It's too much drama.
Too much.
Their drama is like 0 to 1,000 real quick.
Right.
So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I can imagine, like, well, you probably you see like on the outside looking in a little bit, but with like super celebrity status people, it's like at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? I mean, there really isn't anything different about any of us. It's just, different people have different connections, different opportunities, different, advantages, disadvantages, whatnot, but we're all really the same. And I think that you experience when you're in the scene with all these celebrities, they have they get, I don't want to say they get like big heads, but they have a false perception of what kind of being they are, right? They think they're almost like superhuman, probably. Because I mean, you get the feedback loop from everybody around you, right? That you're just like this superhuman person. So they live on the edge. They probably have a very like edgy lifestyle. They're not really thinking clearly. Living in the moment a lot, probably.
Yeah. It's just a totally different world. Like going to houses the size of 20,000 to 30,000 square feet to 40,000, seeing like the restaurant Round Table built in someone's house. Like it looks like a round table, like in one area, and they got pizza ovens. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's the owner.
I know you like that.
That's the owner of Round Table. I guess I'm at that house, or seeing the NHL trophy case with the NHL, Kings thing, or Edmonton, and it's okay. That's the owner of the Edmonton Oilers, who owns the Detroit Pistons, and so I've been in crazy houses. It's crazy. Yeah,
that is nuts. Now you like donuts, you like pizza. I know this because when we were at the US Sports Expo, you kept wanting to get me donuts, and you were like, "When do you need some fuel? Do you want me to get you some donuts?" I'm like, that actually sounded really good. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't ever eat donuts, but like, it was a treat for me. But it actually sounded really good. I would have eaten it.
Oh man, I just needed the energy. I didn't eat, so I was on.
Oh my gosh, Paul, he got me this drink. It was like an aloe watermelon drink. It literally had like 50 grams of sugar in it.
Oh my
he's
God.
I couldn't figure out what to get you, but I know you like healthy stuff. So I found this.
God.
And he goes, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Sure." I tasted it and it was actually really good. I was like, "This is really good." And he's like, "Better you than me." Like it was so
Yeah, I had a good time. I definitely had a good time.
That was funny.
Yeah, definitely had a good time that weekend. Got to see Ronnie again. Flex is always a good thing. Sean Ray is Sean Ray. You know that.
Yeah.
So Linda Murray was a blessing. Me and her talked especially a lot. So Yeah, it was a wonderful time.
Here's a little clip. We had you in the background there. This is you. You're bodyguarding for all of us.
Yeah.
I went to go take a photo with Ronnie. You're there in the background, making sure everything's going smoothly.
All right. It's live.
Yeah, it was such good energy. There was so much good energy.
This was your VIP area, Paul.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hey.
And there's Marcus. So I didn't get any photos with you. That's all I have.
Yeah, I don't really take photos. I sneak around. I get around things. So I'm a ghost until something needs to happen. So
I know. But we do have this also.
True.
I also have this. Linda got a little clip of you bodyguarding.
Oh yeah.
She was really excited. She really enjoyed you too.
Definitely.
She's
a very nice woman. She never ages. Me and Ronnie were talking about that. We were talking about her. We're like, dude, does she ever age?
She doesn't.
No, she looks the same. Like 30 years ago.
I know.
Same. I'm just like, what do you drink, girl? Like, what are you?
She's not human. We talk about people being human. That's the exception.
Yeah.
It's just like crazy genetics, right? God-given genetics.
Seriously.
Yeah. And she's doing good work. So she's, talking to a lot of females, trying to get them involved in bodybuilding. And so she's doing a really good job where she's at. She's doing it big. So blessings to her. So.
Do you get to know your clients usually? Because I know you stay behind the scenes, but everybody wants to get to know you. So how's that work?
As far as entertainers or bodybuilders, or I
guess it would be maybe a little bit different, right? So when you're dealing with entertainers, I know you said Khloe Kardashian is really nice, but just I guess with entertainers, what is your experience like overall?
Just actually keep my mouth shut and listen. That's pretty much the rule of the trade. Yeah, keep your mouth shut and listen. Yeah. You'll know when you're needed. You'll know, and when you better act. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Paul, for you getting Marcus into your world, because you guys had a history, you knew each other.
Yeah, for sure.
You pulled him into the bodybuilding space to help you. So tell me about that.
No, I mean, pretty much since day one, Marcus has been with me as long as my brother and my brother VJ and some of my dudes, Big Leroy and Milo, and we call my boy Nays. But there's been a few people who just been with me from day one.
Yeah.
Even though Blongear is dead right now, Marcus is still with me, and I brought him on the team for Evo. Gabe and we look at Marcus, and he's just like, he just takes care of everyone. He's a giver. He makes everyone comfortable, makes everyone happy, and I mean, look at this guy. I mean, he took care of you guys probably like just perfect, So Marcus is our VIP event manager. So he will take care of anyone who comes in, who flies from wherever, make sure that they have food to eat. If they want to go eat, they have a ride, a hotel, help them. It's just normal. It's not like he's trying to be someone who he's not.
Right.
I mean, Marcus has been with A1 celebrities, so I mean, to have him take care of now our fitness celebrities, it kind of goes hand in hand.
It's awesome.
So
it really is. It's so wonderful to have you, Marcus. It really is.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to give a shout out to
hey, we can't hear you, Marcus.
I want to give a shout out to Big Dave Zamora. Big
Dave Zamora.
Yeah. He's
Paul, do you know what he's talking about?
Wait. Yeah, so he was saying Big Dave Zamora, he's our Evo security manager,
Okay.
And just like Marcus, he's one of my best friends for years. I brought him on the team. He also was a high-end bodyguard for celebrities.
Yeah.
His last clients were a guy named Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. You guys know them?
Yeah.
I might have heard of them.
Yeah. So Day was with them, and
Yeah.
Will and Jada Smith. So he's on the Evo team now. So he's my security manager.
Wow.
But Gabe loves them, loves Marcus, and they work great with the team.
Yeah.
So Marcus, I wanna know, you were, as when you were younger, you kind of dealt with a little bit of the bullying.
Yeah.
It sparked you to want to get into sports and succeed, and then you kind of rolled into this like fighting scene and everything. Like as you continued on your journey, it seems like you just had this resilience about you, and you still do. So what would you say to like anybody watching who is really inspired by you? Like what kept you going and what keeps you going?
Oh man. Gee. A praying mom. A praying mom 24/7.
Yeah.
All the stuff that I've been involved in, the accidents, the guns, the decisions I make, just my mom, Mary Royster. That pushes me. My dad passed away in 2020. Paul's dad passed away at the same time my dad.
I'm sorry.
And so parenting, those out there that are parents, don't take it for granted, and just helping people. I like helping people. Like I say, we went to children's hospitals, the burn victims. We did everything we could to get to hospitals, and Paul made sure I did that, and I love him for that. So.
Yeah.
And that's it, making everybody else happy. It's, you might be miserable or depressed or whatever. And like I say, I get depressed sometimes and it happens, but just helping out people just makes me smile. So
I can see that. That's what I would say about you. I would say you seem to be very driven by seeing other people around you happy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Safe and happy. Safe and happy.
Safe and happy.
Definitely that.
Well,
yeah.
Paul, what about you? You've been through a lot. I mean, I've seen you, God, I've known you now for over a decade, and I've seen you succeed at so many things. I mean, you've had some ups and downs, just like all of us, who try to take risks and try to be successful. What has kept you going? Because seeing you at the Evo Sports Expo and how much you put into that was so inspiring. Like what keeps you so passionate, so driven?
No, I think the whole like fitness industry in a nutshell is pretty much what makes me happy. Being a part of it, being part of the brand, having the relationships with, the NPC, and finally being able to host a show. Gabe has put this Evo platform on a map, and I came in a year ago and brought the bodybuilding show to the show, and now it's gonna explode.
Oh yeah.
So we just feel that we're just at the beginning stages of what we're gonna build here in Northern California. So we're totally excited and totally happy. And obviously our next show is July 20th. In Sacramento Convention Center. We will be announcing the celebrity fitness guest really soon here, and it's on to the next show. We must go on to the next show.
I love it. I know you were I was just texting you to say, hey, Paul, that was so awesome. So well done. And you're already, Wendy, this is what we're going to do for the next one. Can you get so-and-so? These are the fitness girls that we want. Can you collect them? And I'm like, dude, you need to take a break. You need to get some rest. Yes, I got you, but get some rest.
I know. It's just we're on to the next. It's like we're on to the next. It's like
that's
crazy.
good.
But
That's
that's the way it rolls.
Well, you're on the right channel because here at WOLFpak, we have, our fearless leader, Michael Henderson. He operates like that. He's here literally all day long, just working his butt off. He's nonstop. So, I see him, working so hard. And a little bit about his story. He actually started this whole company out of his garage 3 years ago. And it started really small with just one sale. He went out to the Olympia with his daughter and just brought some backpacks. And by word of mouth and social media, the company blew up like crazy. While he was building his business out of his garage, he was fighting stage 3 cancer.
Oh, shit.
And he was going through chemotherapy, and he was like, his whole passion was driven by, what mark did I leave behind? He wanted to start a brand. He wanted to start something that he could leave behind after he was no longer here for his daughters and his family. And so it's an incredible story. And so that's kind of like what makes this brand so special too. It's a family owned business. And we like to have awesome stories, and that's what we're doing here. We're sharing awesome stories on this platform, and it's kind of the next phase of growth, connecting everybody to what this brand really means. And you two are literally so perfect for that. So I just want to thank you both so much for coming on, being a part of this, and who knows, maybe we can have you here again. What do you say?
Let's do it, Marcus.
Definitely.
I mean, I know we have more stories. We got more stories, and we're gonna unravel like that, right?
Yeah, we were trying to see what we could say, what not to say, and we do have some other stories. But
let me know when you do. Let me know when you do an uncensored show. I'll take that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Then I can let the dog out.
Next part 2 will be the uncensored. How about that?
No.
Right.
We'll leave the Mexico trip out, Marcus.
No. That was your fault.
You're gonna leave
that was your fault.
like that?
Yeah, suspense.
This guy, man.
Oh no.
I don't want that. It's you, bro, not me.
I'm gonna have to offline. I'm gonna get that story, and
it's a funny story.
Oh my gosh! Well, everyone, oh, go ahead. Yes.
It's like Hangover. Trust me.
I'm gonna need to know this story. Sorry, guys. We'll come back and tell you guys later.
Yeah. Round 2.
All right.
Round 2.
Sounds good. All right. Well, you guys, thank you all so much. Everyone who's watching this, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video.
Hit that like button. Hit the like button.
Comment, please.
Yes.
Do you want to know anything more from Marcus? Any more questions for him? Let us know. And until next time, thank you all so much. WOLFpak is out.
Eva.